Hello, everyone. I am Manoj Raju, the head of the San Francisco Public Defender's Office. Welcome back to our video series where we take a deeper look into many of the innovative ways our office serves the San Francisco community. Today, we're joined by special guest Brian Cox, who leads our integrity unit. Welcome, Brian. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Can you share a little bit about yourself and what brought you into criminal defense?
Yeah, sure. I learned at a very young age. I'm from Louisiana. That there were two quote unquote justice systems. One broadly speaking for white folks, and then kind of one for everybody else. In my life, everyone that kind of I very close to has been directly impacted by the system. I think about the collateral consequences of being involved and impacted by the system, whether it's losing job opportunities or housing and the stability that provides or healthcare, education, all the collateral consequences are there. And, when we talk about systemic and institutional oppression and racism, that's it, right? I've seen it. I've kind of lived that. And I think that's why I always say, this work is very personal to me. And that's why I'm very proud to lead our office's efforts in the integrity unit, to really shrink the impact that police have on the communities that have traditionally been over policed.
Thank you for that answer. And a big part of our role as public defenders is holding government agencies and actors in the criminal legal system accountable because their actions impact the lives of our clients, their families, and in fact the entire city. Can you tell our viewers what exactly the integrity unit is and its importance in promoting transparency?
We do kind of three things. We monitor police activities sort of at the very highest and the very lowest level. So whether it's an individual case or so whether it's overall police policies and practices, what we're doing is we're trying to inject as much accountability into the system by holding them to account for their misconduct. The second prong of what we do is we're really focused on policy advocacy, trying to articulate a vision rooted in our work, in the work that our office does, to inform what the policies and laws should be. Our area of expertise really focuses on policing in San Francisco and how that's connected to the different sort of systems. The third problem of like kind of what the integrity unit does, properly speaking, is that we're really monitoring all the data that comes into the office. It's a lot of data, and we're building systems to capture that. But our goal is to use that to inform both our policy advocacy as well as how we are holding officers accountable for various misconduct. Our specific tools that we use to hold officers accountable is that we're filing complaints with either the Department of Police Accountability, or if it's a DA with the Bar Association, or if it's a judge, there are judicial canons and ethics that they're obligated to follow, and so we'll press that case depending on in consultation with the attorneys and clients for a specific case. But our overall focus is to kind of do two things: is to shrink the number of clients that we have coming into our office, and then for those that do come into our office, give our attorneys the most robust tools to protect those people from DA overcharging or police lying in a police report.
Absolutely. It's just such vital work. And speaking of robust tools, the Integrity Unit was responsible for creating the award-winning Comp Monitor SF database. Can you describe what Comp Monitor SF is, the kinds of public records the database makes available to the public, and why it was so important to create this?
I think it's really important to observe that Comp Monitor isn't strictly a misconduct database. And I think that the reason I bring that up is that most police conduct, just strictly speaking, isn't right, isn't misconduct. It's legal, right? An officer can use their weapon in various contexts. They can use force in various contexts. And so I think that our belief in Comp Monitor is predicated on the fact that policing is a violent profession, and it's someone's job to call it out. And I think that we're best positioned, given where our clients are, to be a part of that, to be a leading voice in that space. But let's talk about what's in Comp Monitor. So Comp Monitor is also not just a collection of what's, say, legal and misconduct, but we have certain categories of records that were made public a few years ago, whether it's illegal search and seizure, racial bias, or records related to shootings or excessive force. These records are highly important for the work that our office does because it shows what these officers have engaged in previously. We're also tracking lawsuit settlements, news items associated with with specific officers or events. Really, it's our fundamental theory when it comes to cop monitors that we really believe that people have a right to know who polices them, and there isn't one space in San Francisco where everybody can go to at once to see all that information. And that's, I think that's why cop monitors are a vital tool in this, because it is monitoring in a sense, but it's also there's a distinct action available to people looking through that data. I couldn't do any of the work that I'm doing without my other teammate Zach Dillon. He's a massive part of what we do. He's the architect of Cop Monitor, and really want to uplift his role in all of this, and his intelligence and sort of like analytical ability to really think critically and drive our policy and drive our vision forward.
So a few months ago, SFPD released a shocking report showing that San Francisco Police Department stops searches and uses force against individuals of color at a disproportionately high rate. Can you talk about how our office is working to combat these biases, and how, in particular, is the Integrity Unit working to address this disparity?
I think one word in your question kind of jumped out to me. You said the shocking report. I think it is shocking, right? But the data has been consistent since the day SFPD started collecting it. Whether it's searching, whether it's stopping, whether it's using force, they've done this at the highest rates against Black and brown people. It defies logic, and the only conclusions that we can kind of come to is that we have a police force that is too eager, right, to pull people over, to stop them and search them and use force on them. And so the work that we're doing is really trying to address that in a primary way, right? So particularly with when it comes to, say, ending pretextual stops, we really think that that's a primary a driver of these rates, right? Because in part it confers upon officers a lot of discretion, right? They can choose who they pull over and who they don't pull over. And so the goal is to really remove discretion from officers in a lot of cases. So it limits what an officer can pull someone over for, right? Because that's fundamentally what it's about. It's about reducing police powers and really reimagining how our society should be organized. The work that we're doing to end pretextual stops is a good example of the Integrity Unit being the tip of the spear, and how we're trying to address these disparities, whether it's doing a bunch of research and producing high quality memos, or looking at the data that we've had from our clients, talking with our clients, seeing what their responses are. How does this make you, how do you feel as a result of being pulled over and treated like a second class citizen? And then marshaling the community to come in and with one voice and a chorus say, we have to really end this policy because it's dehumanizing, it's degrading, it doesn't work, and it's contributing directly to these disparate rates that we're seeing.
So what's the best way to get in touch with the Integrity Unit?
You can reach us a few different ways. Our email address is pubdef-integrity@sfgov.org. That's pubdef-integrity@sfgov.org. You can also reach me directly. My email address is brian.cox@sfgov.org. Another way of interacting with the work that we do is actually just going to the Public Defender's homepage, and there's a column there for Cop Monitor. And Cop Monitor is the data repository that we maintain. And there you can see kind of the work that we've done, the work that we're currently doing, and email us and check out the Cop Monitor database and really engage with kind of our overall project and vision of shrinking the impacts of policing in San Francisco.
Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you for all the hard work that you do for the office and for the community. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate the chance to speaking with you, uplifting the work that we're doing, and for your leadership in creating this unit and championing that work.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please make sure to like, follow, and share this on all your platforms, and stay tuned for more. Take care, everyone.